Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing another reading vlog. We are going to be doing a random number wheel, basically chooses how many hours I read a day. We're basically going to be doing this throughout the entire week. So we're currently starting on a Sunday and I'm super excited for this. I'm going to show you what I have in store for my wheel, of course, and show you a little bit about it. But basically the random number wheel looks like this. I have numbers all the way up from 1 to 8. So they coordinate with how many hours I basically read during a day, essentially. So we're going to spin the wheel first. I'm going to get off screen so that you guys can properly see it. But we're going to hit spin. Okay then, well, we are going to be reading for 1 hour then, as you guys can see right there. The number wheel chose to read for 1 hour, so I'm going to get a 1 hour timer started, essentially, and then we're going to read for that however many long of an hour, essentially. That did not make any sense. We're basically going to read for that entire hour. Okay, so we've got the timer up and ready. I don't know which one I don't know which book I should read, because right now I'm kind of in the middle of two books. I'm in the middle of Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I've been mostly listening to that, honestly, while also doing a little bit of immersive reading on my Kindle. And then another one that I am also currently reading / annotating as well too. It's technically a reread, but I'm rereading / annotating Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is one of my favorite books of all time. So I'm super excited to dive into this book, honestly. I've always wanted to reread it and annotate it as well too. This will be my first time rereading it and also annotating for the first time as well too. And I'm excited. I'm super excited. I'm super excited, honestly. But I think I might start reading a little bit of Red, White, and Royal Blue, but we shall see. I'm going to put on an hour timer and then I will see you guys in just a second. Hello again, friends. It is currently Monday. It's about it's exactly 10:10 when I'm recording this, actually. But yesterday, you guys saw me read for an hour. I got a little bit more into Red, White, and Royal Blue. I can always sometimes forget to pronounce the white correctly and such, but I am so far really enjoying that reread personally. It is one of my favorite books of all time, and I'm pretty sure that it was a 5-star when I read it, but I'm pretty sure by the end, it's going to be a 6-star. It's gonna be a 6-star, and I know it. But another day, another spin the wheel. So I'm gonna go off camera again, and then we are going to focus and spin the wheel. What is that? What is that? Okay, so we're going to be 4 hours today. This is actually kind of perfect because I don't have work today and my space where I record, it is a little bit messy at the moment. So you know what? 4 hours works perfectly. I'll probably put in my headphones, listen to Air of Fire because I've been reading that book for way too long and I need to advance in that series. I need to advance into that series. So I'll probably put my headphones in. I'll probably take you guys along with me, like cleaning up and whatever, honestly, because it's a little messy through here. It's a little bit messy that I don't even want to show y'all how messy it is, but like, you know. But yeah, we are going to read for 4 hours today. I'm going to get a 4-hour timer set up, and then, yeah, I'll take you guys along with me. That was easy. 4-hour timer right there. And then I will probably cut to me starting the timer along with starting Air of Fire as well, too.
Chapter 28. Days passed, and not all of them were awful. Out of nowhere, Rowan decided to take Selene.
Hello again, friends. It is currently about 9:27 right now, and I have an hour and 15 minutes left on the timer, but I thought I would update you guys a little bit of where I'm at of Air of Fire, and specifically I've gotten to part 2, Air of Fire, chapter 36. And according to this, I have 5 hours and 16 minutes left of the book, and I'm about 55% of the way through. Yeah, I'm about that far through the book, essentially. But I don't know how to feel. I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely don't know how to feel about this book. I feel like I've been reading this book for a century and a half, to say the least, and I can understand why people like it, to say the least, but I don't really see the appeal, and maybe I'll eat my words later in the vlog, but we shall see when I actually finish this book. But it just, I don't know. I mean, we get introduced to 2 new character POVs. We technically get introduced to a new character and then a character that we've seen in the background, but like we never really have heard her thoughts or her processes or whatever, honestly. And the new character that we got, she's interesting to follow, to say the least. And I'm not going to spoil anything because, I'm not going to do that. And then, of course, we meet another character as well, too. And there's this certain couple, well, there's a couple of certain couples and such like that I have seen circulating across this series, essentially. And I'm just thinking, how is that going to work? Like, how exactly is that going to work? And I have no idea. I legitimately have no idea how it's going to work. But, I committed myself to this bit, so I'm going to keep on doing it. I'm hoping to get this done by maybe the end of the week, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it done by the end of the week. It just is, I just feel like I've been reading this book for so long, and I don't really have any, I have happy thoughts, but like I'm entertained. Is it going to be anything more than a 4-star? No. A 4-star or more? No, probably not. And is it going to be maybe a 3.5 to a 3? Probably, but right now I'm kind of leaning more towards a 3 than anything like point whatever, and that might get me a little slack, but it's my opinion. I might eat my words afterwards. We shall see. And then next book I obviously have is The Assassin's Blade. I decided to read it in I think it's called the romantic one, I think. Let me check my timeline thing that I've got here. Oh yes, my reading guide. Yes, I did the romantic reading order, which is where you don't start with you do start with Throne of Glass, and then you go into Crown of Midnight, Air of Fire, and then you read The Assassin's Blade fourth within the series and such. But yeah, that's kind of my halfway check-in, honestly. I don't know how I feel about this book, honestly. I am going to be continuing reading tonight, of course, while the timer's going. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys in just a second, and I'll just show you what the timer looks like as well too. You see right there, that's how much time I have left on the timer for tonight. I will probably see you guys tomorrow, honestly. Hello again, friends. It is currently the next day, Tuesday, June 17th. It's like 8:10 right now, and I need to spin the wheel to see how many hours I'm going to read today. Yesterday, I read for 4 hours and made pretty good progress in Air of Fire, and hopefully I don't get too long of an hours like today, to be honest with you. But we're going to spin the wheel and see. Again, I'm going to go off camera so that y'all can see. Focus that, and then we're going to spin the wheel. What's that? How many is that? Okay, we're reading for 7 hours today. Cool. Okay then. We're reading for 7 hours today. All right. Well, I'm going to get the timer started. That's pretty much almost all of my work day today. So I'm pretty sure, how many hours do I have left in Air of Fire? Okay. For Air of Fire, I have 4 hours and 35 minutes left. I can definitely get that done today, honestly. But if I want to continue on, you know what? Come with me, friends. I'm going to figure out what books. You can't see them right now. Here, let me show you my books currently. Apologies for the mess and such, but my June TBR is right here and such like that. Right, we are going to move this back up to where it is level with my face again. But basically, this is my June TBR, and maybe I could start Ministry of Time or Anxious People, honestly, to be honest with you. Honestly, I don't know. I could also start Imogen, obviously, as well, too, because that's for a book club book. But I might want to start that later in the week. But I don't know, to be honest with you. We shall see how I feel, honestly. But I've got Imogen, obviously, that I can choose. I've got Indigo Ridge that I can choose. I've also got Anxious People by Frederick Bachman as well. I also have the Assassin's Blade on my cart currently as well too. So I might start that after finishing Air of Fire, honestly, you know? Yeah. You know what? I might actually do that, honestly. But then I have Fahrenheit 451, and I also have Ministry of Time as well. We shall see how I feel. I have all of these. I have some of these on Kindle. I also have some of these on audiobook as well, too. Let me actually pull out the Assassin's Blade quickly because, okay, I might have to pull out multiple books at the same time to get to it, but that's okay. Because it's a little bit on the buried side, to say the least. It's a little bit on the buried side. But we have the Assassin's Blade right here, because I feel like I can get Air of Fire done today. I'm going to put those back in here. I'm not going to add anything to the cart right now, just because I, of course, have Air of Fire on here. I might actually start listening to that when I finish. Not Air of Fire. What's this called? The Assassin's Blade. That's what this book is called. But I have that I can listen to after I'm done with Air of Fire. So it is currently right here. But I have my 7-hour timer not started, but like I have it ready to go. I'll probably start reading when I get to work. And I won't be recording, honestly, when I get to work, honestly, but I will probably be reading the majority of the day as well too, honestly. But yeah, I've listened to about 11 hours and 2 minutes. I have 4 hours and 35 minutes left, and I have about 39% left of the book, and I've gotten through 61% of the book, which, you know, pretty good win, because I feel like I've been reading this book for centuries. I legitimately feel like I've been reading this book for centuries, which I kind of have. It's almost taken me 2 months to read. That's A-okay. I'll see you guys in just a little bit. ya, friends. We finished the book. Oh, that went so much better in my head. But anyways, we have finished Heir of Fire finally. I tell you what, I've been reading this book longer than I started my YouTube channel. I know, insane. I started this maybe at the beginning of May, and that was a bad decision on my part. One, because I had finals and move out and just so much stuff going on in my life at the time that I did not have enough time to dedicate any time to reading this book until now, until this video. And if you're wondering, where did I put my phone? Hold on a second. I literally had my phone. There it is. It is on my bookshelf. But if you're wondering how much time I have left on my timer, I did not finish the timer yet. I have like 51 minutes, almost like 52 minutes left on the timer, and I'm going to use that to probably, I don't know if I'm going to start The Assassin's Blade tonight, or if I'm going to start reading, or if I'm going to not really start reading, but if I'm going to continue on rereading Red, White, and Royal Blue. I might do that, to be honest with you, for the rest of the timer, just so I can get some more pages done with that and bad boy, essentially. But yeah, we finished Heir of Fire, and some of you may be disappointed in this, but 3.75 stars. Let me explain. Hold on, before you get your pitchforks and knives, let me explain. So, because this book took me literally almost a month to finish, a month and a half technically now, since we're like halfway through June as I'm filming this currently, the beginning was very lackluster, and then when we got like past like the 20% mark to the 30% mark, stuff started going down, which made me very much more interested in the plot that this book follows and such like that. But basically this follows the events after Crown of Midnight. I'm not going to spoil anything because I kind of want to do a separate dedicated vlog to finishing the rest of the series full of spoilers, essentially, you know, for people who have read the Throne of Glass series or want to as well too. But yeah, it's 3.75. It was very much lackluster to me, honestly. I still do want to continue this series, but I'm not starting with, where is my Queen of Shadows? Queen of Shadows is obviously right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I am doing I'm pretty sure it's called the romantic reading guide, the reading order. Yes, it's the romantic reading order, where instead of me reading this bad boy first, because these are the prequel novels essentially, all bound into one book essentially, I am reading it fourth in the series because that's how I've been told multiple times essentially to read this, and I did not know that there was a purist order until much later when I started this process essentially. So I'm stuck, and this bad boy ends off on so many cliffhangers, it's not even funny. So but yeah, I kind of want to dive into a little bit more about my thoughts. So he obviously still follows Selena after the events of Crown of Midnight, and it is basically shit hits the fan, and basically revolution starts. I'm not going to say anything more on that because there's not really much else I can say without giving spoilers, and I do not want to do that to people essentially. But from where we took the main three characters that we saw in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, we got two new characters. Oh, actually, no, not two new characters, but like we got introduced to so many characters, but we got introduced to this really interesting character that I'm not going to say who she is and such because that could potentially be spoilers for the rest of the series. I'm not too sure, honestly, though. But we get introduced to her, and she's cool. She's sick as hell, honestly. I really like her character, and I don't know exactly how to feel about her character yet, because I haven't gotten all of her backstory yet, but we shall see when I continue on with the Assassin's Blade and, of course, the rest of the series as well, too. But yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all I have to say Personally, 3.75 stars. The beginning did not hook me very well, which is why it was taking me literally, like, it took me a month to get to like the 30% mark almost. It took me a month to get to the 30% mark. And I'm not gonna lie, this was not a bad book. It was not a bad book, but is it a 4-star? No, it's not a 4-star. The only reason why it's giving the 0.75 in the first place, it was originally just going to be a 3.5 like I did with the first 2 books, essentially. But then I decided to bump it up because of the stakes being raised in this book. And there are so many stakes raised, like, all across the different characters. And we're following so many characters throughout this expansive world that I'm wondering, how are these characters going to get together? Like, how are they going to figure that out personally? Like, what in the hell is going to happen with them, you know? Sorry, I see a bug crawling to my left, and that's kind of freaking me out at the moment. But yeah, I'm just like, where are we going to go from here? And I know people are probably screaming at me, but I probably should have read these guys first before diving into like the first book and the second book and now the third book, because now I have to wait to what happens with Queen of Shadow as well too. So yeah, I have that to worry about as well too. But yeah, I feel like that's all I really have to say on Air of Fire. 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it at the end. The beginning really did not hook me, and I think it's because I took too long of a break between reading Crown of Midnight and Air of Fire, because I read Air of Fire in February, then I took a break so that I could reread the Hunger Games series, because I wasn't too sure if they were going to clash, but in reality, I should have known that they weren't going to clash because they're 2 different genres. This is fantasy, Hunger Games is dystopian, essentially, so I am a little bit kind of pissed off about that. So it took me so much longer to kind of get back into the world and remind myself why I like these characters in the first place. There's only one character that I truly love, honestly, and we've met him since book 1. And my other one, I like her. But also at the same time, I'm just like, I need to know more. I need to know more of her story in order to be able to truly understand her and truly understand the reason why she did this, why she, like, did something that's a spoiler, essentially. But yeah, that's all I really kind of have to say, honestly. 3.75. I am not going to start The Assassin's Blade tonight. I decided I'm not going to start that quite yet. I am actually going to, after I'm done eating dinner and such, I am more than likely going to read. I'm obviously going to read a little bit more of Red, White, and Royal Blue. I'll take you guys along with me for that as well, too. So yeah, that's all I really kind of had to update, honestly. I will see you guys in just a second. Hi again, friends. It is currently Wednesday. It's like 8:30 when I'm recording this, but it is now day 4. Damn, I had to think, honestly. And yesterday you guys saw me read for 7 hours straight. I low-key forgot to turn on the camera when I got close to the timer because I was just so immersed in the book. But, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. But now it's time to spin the wheel, see how many hours we get. You know the drill. Let's do it. Is that 6 hours? 6 hours. Okay, so we got 6 hours now. Today is actually going to be, I actually have work again, not tomorrow. I have work again today, so this should probably get me through most of my day. Oh, that's the wrong thing. All right, 6 hour timer ready. I am probably going to start it, just like show like a little clip of me starting it, but I'm not going to actually start reading until I actually get to work. And as you guys saw, Well, I don't think you guys saw me do this because I forgot to turn on the camera, but I read a little bit more of Red, White, and Royal Blue as well too. I'm really, really loving this reread. I'm loving the reread. I am just so excited. I love this book so much, and I can't wait to see like all of the tabs and the annotations that I have for the rest of the book as well. But I think, sorry, I keep walking away from the camera, but I think what I'm going to start today while I'm at work, I think I'm going to start listening to The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas, because this is technically the prequel novels essentially, but I decided to do the reading in the romantic reading order, which starts with Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Air of Fire, instead of starting with the prequel novels like the purest one as well too. But yeah, I'm really excited to start this today. It takes a little bit of a break between Air of Fire and, where is it? Queen of Shadows. It's right down there. I reorganized my bookshelf, so don't mind me, honestly, when it comes to that, to be honest. But yeah, I will see you guys in a little bit. Hi again, friends. It is now Thursday. I had to remember what day of the week it was. And we have one more day left, which is tomorrow, because I would originally go from like Sunday to Saturday. But Saturday, I know I'm not going to be able to have any time to read because I am going to be going to my local city's Pride Festival, which I was super, super excited for. I'm just so excited for, honestly. But we've obviously got our second to last day here. I just realized this is crooked. Why is this crooked? Is it crooked? I don't know. Okay, no, it's not crooked. I just realized that. All right, now we're going to spin the wheel again. Again, I'm going to go off camera. We're going to focus on this bad boy, and then we're going to spin once again. All right, we are going to be reading for 2 hours today. Oh, I was really, really hoping to kind of get a low number, honestly, but we're going to be reading for about 2 hours today. And I might start doing this while I'm at work, but then also at the same time, I don't know, to be honest with you. I might even do it while I'm at home with y'all, to be honest with you. But I have the 2-hour timer ready to go. And of course, you guys saw me yesterday. Where was it? Yeah. Yesterday you saw me read. Well, you didn't see me read Assassin's Blade because I read that the majority of the time at work. And like I said, I got to the short story of the assassin and the desert. That's where I stopped at last time. And then, of course, you saw me read a little bit more of Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, which is a reread, of course. I am now on chapter 8, which is page 202. And I tell you what, I love Casey McQuiston's books so much. The only thing that kind of irks me sometimes is the long chapters, but I can get over that super, super easily, to be honest with you, because I love their writing so much. And I have so many tabs already, honestly. I figured I would have a lot of tabs, but I didn't realize how many tabs and underlines I had, to be honest with you. Where is this one? I think I said this one before, honestly. Yep, okay, yeah, I did say that in my last one. So yeah, maybe I obviously have work today, so I honestly might take a little bit of a break from listening to The Assassin's Blade today, and Honestly, I don't know, to be honest with you. We shall see how I feel, honestly. We shall see how I feel. But like I said, the timer spun us 2 hours, and I'm going to be ready to do that whenever, to be honest with you. But yeah, I will see you guys like whenever I come back, essentially. Hi again, friends. It is currently Friday, and this is the last day that I am doing this challenge because I think I told you guys, but on Saturday, I have an event going on that I know that I will not be able to read. So we're going to spin the wheel one final time. The only ones I think I've read for 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, and 2 hours and then 1 hour. I think the only one I haven't. I am manifesting for a small number because I have some work I need to do along with some other things. Like later today, I'm getting my nails done. I don't think I'll take you guys along with me for that because I'm still very much on the being comfortable with recording people in public, and all that fun stuff, and recording myself in public. So we're going to spin the wheel one final time. I'm going to go off camera and such, but we're going to spin the wheel one final time. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, we only have to read for 1 hour today. That is going to be extremely easy. Oh, but I don't know which one I should pick up. As you guys saw, I'm in the middle of these 2 books, which is Blade and Red, White, and Royal Blue. Honestly, I might read Red, White, and Royal Blue because I didn't read any of that yesterday. And honestly, the Assassin's Blade yesterday when I was reading it, I kind of was like falling asleep. To be honest with you, I was low-key kind of falling asleep, but it's fine. It's a-okay. It is a-okay, to be honest with you. But yeah, I will take you guys along with me. Of course, I'll take you guys along with me. We'll read for an hour together and such, but still. Oh, wow. I kind of wish that it was a little bit more I was thinking maybe more around the 3 to 2 range and such, but it works fine, honestly, like an hour works perfectly fine, to be honest. But yeah, I will see you guys for the final time that we read together. All right, friends, this is going to be the end of the video now. So I want to do a little bit of a recap on the books that I read this week. Obviously, I read a little bit of Red, White, and Royal Blue. I finished Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas and then started The Assassin's Blade. Again, little quick recap on the rating for Air of Fire, 3.75. It still has not changed, honestly. I started, obviously, The Assassin's Blade, and the prequel novels are interesting, to say the least. I don't know how to feel about them as a whole, but I can kind of understand where Selena comes from a little bit and why she is the way that she is, like within this regular timeline of events and such. But yeah, that one's unchanged, 3.75. I know when I'm done rereading Red, White, and Royal Blue, that's more than likely going to be a 6-star read because of how much I love that book, to say the least. I'm pretty sure probably even by the end, even if the last like 2 stories like make me tear up, I'll probably like rate it like a 3-star because, you know, it's prequel novels. They're not novels, prequel novellas. So they have a little bit more, not enough time to be able to exactly lay out the story and understand the characters, even though she does a pretty good job of that, honestly. But yeah, let me know if you guys liked this idea. Honestly, I really liked doing this. Honestly, it made me read a little bit more and made me appreciate how much time you can spend reading, essentially, and such. And I finished one book this week, one book that I've been reading for a month and a half. Yeah, that tells you something, to say the least. Again, hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, week, month, and year. See you later, friends.